Have you ever thought about those classic stories, the ones we all think we know? Like, really know?
Mm-hmm.
What if there's actually more to them? Surprising depths, maybe insights we just gloss over?
Yeah, definitely.
So today we're getting into the original source material for Beauty and the Beast.
That's right. Because the version most of us know, maybe the Disney one or another film, well, it's often quite different.
Yeah.
The original story is just packed with these subtle messages, things about, perception, sacrifice, what real understanding looks like.
So our mission today isn't just retelling it. It's more about unpacking those core themes.
Exactly. Looking at the character motivations, finding those little sort of nuggets of knowledge hidden inside.
And figuring out why it still resonates and what it might offer you about looking past the surface.
Precisely.
Okay, so let's dive in. The story kicks off with a merchant. And he's not just comfortable, he's enormously rich.
Right. Huge wealth, 6 sons, 6 daughters, living the high life, basically.
But then, bam, disaster strikes. Almost overnight, his whole world just collapses. His house burns down, everything gone.
And it doesn't stop there. It's like a cascade, His ships, his entire trading fleet lost.
Oh.
Like storms, some to pirates, some wrecked in storms, some just caught fire. And then the final blow, his clerks, the people managing his business abroad, turned out to be unfaithful, stole from him, basically.
Yeah. Wow, so he's left with nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Direst poverty, the text says. Just a tiny house way out in the country, at least 100 leagues from the town. A desolate spot in a forest.
It's a serious fall from grace.
Mm.
Imagine going from that wealth to, well, nothing.
And the impact on the family, especially the daughters, used to luxury. It was huge. They had to work like peasants. The sons, too, farming.
And what about their friends, that whole social circle?
Vanished. Gone. The source even says some former friends blamed the family's problems on their own extravagance.
That's cold. Shows how quick people are to judge when fortunes change, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And the sisters, well, they just couldn't cope. They lamented unceasingly, couldn't find any joy.
But Beauty, the youngest daughter, she was different.
Yeah, that's where her character really shines through early on. She was sad at first, naturally, but then she recovered her natural gaiety. She tried to be brave, cheerful, even tried to lift her sister's spirits.
How did they react?
They scoffed at her, said she was only fit for their miserable life because she wasn't as gloomy as they were, even though the story clearly states she was far prettier and cleverer.
So right away she's positioned as someone with inner strength, not just defined by circumstances.
Exactly. Resilience. After 2 years of this really hard life, a bit of hope comes along.
Mm-hmm.
News arrives that one ship, one they thought was lost, actually made it back.
With a rich cargo.
Yep. Suddenly the kids are dreaming of getting out of poverty. They start loading their father up with requests, jewels, fancy dresses.
All the things they missed.
Right. But Beauty, she felt it was of no use, didn't ask for anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, her father pushed her, and her first wish, it was just, the only thing I wish for is to see you come home safely.
That's quite selfless.
It is. When he insisted she ask for something, she just requested a single rose.
A rose?
Yeah. I have not seen one since we came here, and I love them so much. Such a simple thing compared to her sister's extravagance. It hints at her values, doesn't it? Nature, simple beauty.
Definitely sets her apart. And this simple request, it leads to everything else, does it?
It really does, because the merchant goes to town, but it's another huge disappointment.
Target wasn't enough.
His business partners had already divided it up. There were debts. After 6 months of trying, he was basically just as poor as before.
Oh, man. So the journey home
Was brutal. Terrible weather, deep snow, freezing cold. He gets lost, has to shelter in a hollow tree trunk, wolves howling all around him. Just awful. Sounds terrifying.
But then he sees a light. Or a path.
Yeah, he finds a track, and it leads him to this amazing castle. And here's the weird thing. The avenue leading to it, lined with orange trees blooming with fruit. And no snow had fallen there at all, while the forest around was buried.
Okay, that's definitely magical. A sign something unusual is going on.
Totally. The castle itself is grand, warm, welcoming, but completely silent. Meals appear magically, fires are lit, but there's no one there.
Spooky, but also kind of nice, given he was freezing a minute ago.
Right. He's amazed by it all, the generosity. He thinks, wow, I should bring the kids here. But as he's leaving, he spots a hedge covered in the most beautiful roses.
Oh, And he remembers Beauty's request.
Exactly. He thinks, well, she wanted a rose, and he picks one.
Big mistake.
Huge. Instantly, this frightful beast appears, furious, accuses him of being ungrateful, stealing his roses after he had offered shelter and food, speaks in a terrible voice.
The merchant must have been terrified.
Absolutely. He pleads, explains his situation, mentions Beauty's simple wish for a rose.
Does the beast soften at all?
A little. His voice becomes less furious. And he says, okay, I will forgive you on one condition, that is, that you will give me one of your daughters.
Oh, okay, there's the classic bargain.
But wait, the next line is crucial. The beast adds, if she comes at all, she must come willingly. On no other condition will I have her.
Willingly? That's huge, isn't it? Why do you think that's so important? He's a monster demanding a sacrifice, but it has to be voluntary.
It's the absolute core of it, I think. It immediately tells you this isn't just brute force. There's some kind of, I don't know, principle, or maybe a condition of the enchantment itself. He needs genuine, unforced acceptance. It hints that his monstrosity isn't the whole story.
Right. It complicates things immediately. So the merchant gets a month.
Yeah.
Either bring a daughter back or come back alone and, well, face the consequences.
Exactly. So he goes home, heart heavy. He doesn't tell them right away. He just gives Beauty the rose and says, sort of ominously, you little know what it has cost.
Oof, that must have landed like a lead weight.
You can imagine. When he finally tells the whole story, everyone's devastated.
And the sisters. I bet they weren't blaming themselves.
Not a chance. Straight away, they turn on Beauty. It's all your fault. Her folly, they called it. Complaining about how they would suffer because of her silly wish for a rose.
Wow. But Beauty.
She was much distressed, but she didn't argue or blame anyone else. She just said, as I did the mischief, it is only just that I should suffer for it. I will therefore go back with my father to keep his promise.
Just like that. Takes responsibility.
Total accountability. Such a contrast to her sisters. It really shows her moral strength.
Her dad and brothers must have objected, surely.
Oh, yeah. They loved her. They refused, said they wouldn't let her go. But Beauty was determined. She felt it was her duty, her promise to keep.
So she goes back with her father. What's that journey like?
It's astonishing, actually. The horse they ride seems to fly rather than gallop. And as they get near the castle again, the dark forest lights up.
Lights up how?
Wonderful colored lights, fireworks blazing, music playing, the air turns warm and pleasant. It's like a grand welcome.
Strange for going to meet a terrifying beast, right? What does that suggest?
It deepens the mystery, doesn't it? It reinforces that this place, the beast's domain, is full of hidden wonders. Maybe the enchantment itself is putting on a show? Or maybe it reflects something about the beast's true hidden nature.
So they arrive. Another magic supper is waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then the beast appears.
Beauty is terrified, naturally. She trembles, but the text says she makes a great effort to hide her horror and saluted him respectfully.
Composed even when scared.
Very. And the beast, his voice is still gruff, but he just says, "Good evening, Beauty." And then he asks her straight up, "Have you come willingly? Will you be content to stay here when your father goes away?"
The key question again.
Exactly. And Beauty bravely says yes. She was quite prepared to stay.
Wow. And then, doesn't something weird happen with gifts?
Yes. This is really strange. The beast tells Beauty to take her father to another room filled with incredible riches, splendid dresses fit for a queen, gorgeous jewels, and tells him to pick out whatever they think the brothers and sisters would like.
Seriously. He's letting them take treasure.
More than that. He tells them to fill 2 big trunks with the dresses and jewels, and then fill the rest with gold. And here's the magic part. The source mentions the trunks seem to have endless room. The more they put in, the more space there was.
Libelous trunks.
Pretty much. And they became impossibly heavy, like an elephant could not have carried them. But the beast assures them they'll get home safely.
Okay, that's beyond just letting her father leave. It's incredibly generous, almost showy. What's that about?
It's fascinating, right? It shows his immense power and wealth, obviously. But maybe it's also, paradoxically, a sign of care or an attempt to provide for the family she's leaving. It definitely complicates the idea of him as just a monster. He seems to want something more than just her presence. Maybe gratitude, recognition.
Yeah, adds layers. So her father leaves, and Beauty is alone in this huge, enchanted palace. What's her life like?
Well, she starts exploring, and the place is incredible. Rooms lined with mirrors, a gallery with paintings, including a life-size portrait of the handsome prince from her dreams.
The one she keeps dreaming about.
Yes, her unknown admirer, the text calls him. She finds a music room with every instrument imaginable, a massive library. So big it would take a lifetime just to read the titles.
Sounds amazing, if a bit lonely.
But the palace seems designed to combat loneliness. She finds an aviary with tame birds that land on her shoulder, even talking parrots and cockatoos that greet her by name.
Talking birds, okay.
Huh.
Classic fairy tale stuff.
And then there are the windows. This is described as the most new and surprising entertainment. She could sit in certain chairs, a curtain would draw back, and the window would show these incredible, amusing pantomimes.
Like a magic TV.
Sort of. With dances, lights, music, beautiful costumes. The source says they ensured she never could feel lonely anymore. It paints a picture of a life that's, yes, isolated, but also incredibly rich intellectually, artistically.
It's definitely not a standard prison cell.
Not at all. It's almost like an environment designed for her comfort, maybe even her growth.
And meanwhile, these dreams continue.
About the prince.
Yes, recurring dreams. The handsome prince keeps appearing, telling her things like, only be grateful, and do not trust too much to your eyes. And crucially, do not desert me until you have saved me from my cruel misery.
Do not trust too much to your eyes. That seems key.
It's hammered home. She gets similar advice from a stately lady who also appears in her dreams, and later even inanimate objects in the palace seem to whisper it, the clock, the portrait. Always, do not trust to appearances. Let her heart guide her and not her eyes.
So it's like this constant, almost subconscious guidance system pushing her to look deeper. Absolutely. It's not just foreshadowing. It's an active internal struggle being encouraged. Look beyond the surface. Trust your feelings, your intuition. It's central to her whole journey.
And every night, the beast comes to see her.
Every night after supper. He visits, they talk spa. The text implies their conversations become quite pleasant over time, but he always ends with the same question.
Beauty, will you marry me?
Gruffly asked, but persistent. And her answer is always the same polite but firm, no beast.
And how does he take the rejection?
The story says he seemed to go away quite sad.
Sad. That's interesting. It suggests genuine feeling, not just a demand. Is he testing her? Or is it more vulnerable than that?
I think it's probably both. It tests her ability to see past his looks, yes, but his sadness, that feels real. It shows his own longing for acceptance, for love, not just obedience. He needs her genuine yes to break the spell, remember? The willing choice.
Right. It all comes back to willingly. So this goes on for a while. Does she ever get used to him?
Yes, that's a major shift. After a long time, a month, she realizes she's quite ceased to be afraid of him. She starts to see past the ferocious looks and his dreadful voice and recognizes his kindness, his gentleness.
So her perception is really changing. She's seeing the person inside the beast.
Exactly. That's the turning point. But even though she's comfortable, even happy in many ways, she starts to miss her family terribly.
Understandable. So she asks to go home.
She does, and the beast is clearly distressed. He sighs dolefully. You can tell it pains him.
But
He agrees. He grants her permission to leave for 2 months.
2 months, that's generous.
It is, but it comes with a very serious warning. He tells her, remember your promise and come back when the 2 months are over, or you may have cause to repent it, for if you do not come in good time, you will find your faithful beast dead.
Whoa. The stakes are life and death now. It really emphasizes how important promises are in this story, and maybe how fragile his existence is.
Both, I think. Her promise is tied directly to his survival. For her departure, he gives her 4 more of those magic boxes to fill with treasures for her family. Again, they seem to have endless capacity.
And how does she get back? Does he give her a magic horse?
Even simpler, he gives her a magic ring. She just has to put it on her finger when she goes to bed, turn it, and firmly say, I wish to go back to my palace and see my beast again. And she'll wake up there.
It all hinges on her will, her desire to return.
Exactly. No physical chains, just the bond of her word and perhaps her developing feelings. So she uses the ring, wakes up at home. Huge, joyful reunion with her family. They're stunned to see her alive and well and dressed so richly.
But the joy probably fades when they hear she has to go back.
Pretty quickly, yeah. They lament they don't want her to leave again.
Does she tell them about her dreams, the prince, the warnings?
She asks her father about them. What does it all mean? Don't trust appearances.
And what's his take?
He thinks about it and gives her some pretty sound advice, actually. He figures, look, the beast is ugly, yes, but he's kind. He loves you. He deserves your gratitude. So the prince in the dream must mean you should reward the beast's inner goodness, despite his ugliness. Do as he wishes, marry him.
Makes logical sense. But how does Beauty feel? Is she convinced?
The source says it seemed very probable to her, but she still pictured the handsome prince from her dreams, and she just felt not at all inclined to marry the beast. That internal conflict is still there.
So she stays home for the 2 months. How does that go?
It's interesting. She enjoys being back, tries to relish the rich life, the social scene, but she finds nothing amused her very much.
The shine wore off her old life.
Completely. And her sisters, they seemed quite used to being without her, maybe even a bit jealous of her fine clothes. She felt rather in the way.
Ouch. So home isn't really home anymore.
Not in the same way. She starts genuinely missing the palace, the wonders, maybe even the beast's company. And crucially, her dreams of the handsome prince stop completely while she's away.
That's significant. Like the magic, the guidance is tied to the palace or to her proximity to the beast.
Could be. Her old life feels empty now compared to the connection she found, even with its strangeness.
So time's running out. What makes her finally decide to go back? Does she just remember her promise?
It takes more than that. It takes a nightmare, a really dismal dream.
What does she see?
She dreams she's back in the palace garden, and she finds the beast stretched out upon his side, apparently dying. And he seems to reproach her, blaming her for a state because she broke her promise.
Oh, wow. That's direct.
And at the same time, the stately lady from her other dreams appears, looking grave, and warns her. Ah, Beauty, you are only just in time to save his life. See what happens when people do not keep their promises. If you had delayed 1 day more, you would have found him dead.
Okay, that's terrifying. No more ambiguity. The consequences are real.
It's the final push she needs. The dream shakes her so badly she decides instantly. Forget the 2 months being fully up. She has to go back now. She grabs the ring, puts it on, says the words, falls asleep immediately.
And wakes up back in the palace.
Wakes up to the sound of the palace clock striking just like before. She's relieved to be back, expects the beast for supper, but he doesn't come.
Oh, no. Is the dream real?
That's her fear. She waits, gets more and more anxious. Finally, she can't stand it and runs out into the garden, searching everywhere, calling his name.
Where does she find him?
She eventually remembers the path from her dream, the shady spot near a cave, and there he is, lying on the ground, silent, not moving. Asleep, as Beauty thought at first.
He's not just asleep, is he?
No. She tries to wake him, but he doesn't stir. And the awful realization hits her. Oh, he is dead and it is all my fault, she cries out, feeling overwhelming guilt and grief.
That moment of thinking she's lost him. That's powerful.
It's the absolute low point. But then she notices. Maybe a faint breath. She quickly runs to a spring, gets water, splashes it on his face.
And does it work?
He stirs. He opens his eyes.
Thank goodness. And what does Beauty say or do? This feels like the climax of her emotional journey.
It is. Relief washes over her, but also this sudden, profound clarity. She cries out, "Oh, beast, how you frightened me. I never knew how much I loved you until just now, when I feared I was too late to save your life."
Wow. So it took the fear of losing him for her to realize the depth of her feelings. Not his looks, but his presence, his life.
Exactly. Her love is confirmed by loss, by fear, by recognizing his worth independent of appearance.
And the beast, what is his response?
He replies faintly, still weak, "Can you really love such an ugly creature as I am?" Huh. Beauty, you only came just in time. I was dying because I thought you had forgotten your promise.
So her return, her promise kept, literally saved him, and her love declared now.
It changes everything. That evening, when he visits her again, weak but alive, he asks his usual question one last time. "Beauty, will you marry me?"
And this time?
This time her answer is different. Softly but clearly, she says, "Yes, dear beast."
And the moment she says yes,
Instant magic. A blaze of light sprang up, fireworks explode, cannons boom, music fills the air. And written across the sky in letters all made of fireflies is the message. "Long live the prince and his bride."
ooh! So the spell breaks immediately upon her genuine acceptance.
Instantly. Beauty turns, probably confused, to ask the beast what's happening. And he's gone.
Gone.
In place. Standing there instead is her long-loved prince from the dreams, handsome and smiling.
The transformation. So the
Love
beast
her.
was the prince all along.
Exactly. And right then, a chariot descends carrying 2 women.
Let me guess. The stately lady from the dreams.
You got it. She reveals herself as a powerful fairy, and with her is a queen, the prince's mother. She's overjoyed, thanks Beauty, for breaking the terrible enchantment that had trapped her son.
So everyone's happy, the curse is broken. What happens next? Royal wedding.
Of course, the queen gives her blessing right away. The fairy uses her magic to bring Beauty's entire family to the palace for the celebration. The wedding happens the very next day with utmost splendor.
And they lived happily ever after, naturally.
Naturally. But what's great about the original source is how it doesn't just end there. It circles back, reinforces the message.
Reminds you what it was all about.
Yeah, it explicitly says the whole point was, do not trust too much to your eyes. Do not let yourself be deceived by appearances. And it refers back to the father's advice. The beast deserved love and gratitude for his inner qualities, his kindness, despite the ugliness. That's what the Dream Prince was trying to tell her all along.
So it's not just about physical appearance then, is it? It's about seeing past any kind of misleading surface to the true character beneath.
Precisely. Discerning true intention, real worth, from just presentation. Which feels incredibly relevant, doesn't it, even today?
Absolutely. So this deep dive, it really takes Beauty and the Beast beyond just a simple fairy tale romance.
For sure. It shows you the power of inner character, the real weight of keeping your word, and what genuine gratitude looks like, appreciating kindness and inner worth, not just flashy exteriors.
It's a powerful reminder that appearances can be, well, incredibly deceptive.
And that sometimes our hearts, if we actually listen to them, know better than our eyes what's truly valuable.
So maybe the thought to leave everyone with is this. In a world that's so often focused on the surface, on that immediate impression, what beasts might you be dismissing too quickly?
And conversely, what hidden princes, what unexpected opportunities or connections might you be missing if you don't take the chance to look beyond the disguise and trust your own heart a little more?
Something to definitely mull over.